Welcome back to another episode of The Hard Truth. Thank you so much for watching. Listen, I appreciate each and every one of you. We've had such a good time so far trying to solve this Idaho 4 case. Well, listen, we all know that according to the PCA, the time of the crime was 4 to 4:25. But we also know that if that proves to be untrue, the prosecution can hang it up. Well, can anybody hang up that timeline? We're going to talk about that today in this video. So grab that coffee, a nice cup of tea as we begin our story.
So we have information of a white vehicle that was in the area either during the time frame of the homicide or around the time frame of the homicide, and we are just wanting to talk to the individuals who are in that vehicle. They may have some valuable information for us, and we're looking for a 2011 to a 2013 Hyundai Elantra. So any assistance you can give us, anybody that owns one, anybody that knows of someone who owns one or may have been driving one, if you could get a hold of us through our tip line or call us directly, we'd appreciate that.
This body cam image and the white car. Is this the white car investigators are looking for?
So the body cam image that is out there from an officer who was on a call with the alcohol offense does have a white vehicle in it. This is not the vehicle that we are looking for. So we wanted to clear that up with all news media.
And finally, the tip line, the process. What do you want to tell the public about that?
So the tip line now will go to an FBI call center. We've done that because we started receiving many tips, and that call center can categorize those, and they can send.
Let's start with the tip line. Okay, first of all, this video was published on December the 10th. So he just said that all of the tips were forwarded to the FBI as of December the 10th. So the FBI could have just got Brian's name out the street in Moscow, because all the tips start going to the FBI on December the 10th, and then all of a sudden by the 14th or whatever, somebody said, hey, Kohberger has this white car, Kohberger has this, psychotic look in his eye, they might even pay me a reward for turning him in, All the tips went to the FBI, think about it. So all of this about sending them DNA and the FBI calling them back and giving them a tip. The FBI was getting Moscow's tips. Okay, so this is just ridiculous. Now, let's talk about the car. We're supposed to be looking for a white car that was in the neighborhood, in and out, between 3 and 4. This is what the authorities told us, not speculation. This is what they told us. Then, here it just so happens, we got a small white car looking us in the face around 3:15, right there in front of the crime scene. And so they say, well, not that one right there. And so we have to just say, well, he said not that one, and just mope on over to the next piece of evidence. Come on now, that's not how it works. They told us the crimes likely happened between 3 and 4, and that the girls were likely asleep. And so they told us that as late as December 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, all the way up until the time that the tips start going to the FBI. As soon as the tips left Moscow help desk or wherever you call in and ended up in the FBI's call center, all of a sudden things start to pop. All right, they got a suspect, which means likely somebody called and gave Brian's name after the tips moved from Moscow to the FBI. And then all of a sudden we have arrests, we have a SWAT death, we have a few things going on at the same time, you see? And so I just feel like there's some significance to the fact that Moscow wasn't even taking tips anymore, in mid-December when everything jumped off and when Kopaka was swatted. They weren't even taking tips anymore. The 911 calls go to Whitcomb and Pullman. And now we're finding out, well, it was out there to find out, that all of the tips were going to the FBI. They weren't even going to MPD. So, I mean, from the get go, this pretty much was out of their hands and probably a lot bigger than what we're looking at and how we're looking at it now. You know what, y'all? I believe just getting the truth from Dylan and Bethany will solve the case, will give us the truth, even if they really were asleep and didn't hear anything whenever the crimes occurred. That would tell us a lot. We could scratch a lot of things off of our list of, you know, uncertainties or whatever. We could know exactly what could have happened and what couldn't have happened just based on that. You know, we could debunk the PCA or we can reinforce what's in the PCA if we just know what Dylan and Bethany know. Did they go to sleep? You know, how were they able to just bounce up and trot off to the tattoo shop? What, a week after these crimes? I just I feel like these two hold the key, and if we can just get the truth out of both of them of what exactly happened or what they know or don't know, I mean, I believe that would be the answers to this case. Now, whether or not we're going to get the truth, that's a whole different story. I don't know if they ever took a lie detector test or whatever. I don't know if Ann Taylor can ask for both of them to take a lie detector test. I don't know if she has that type of authority, but I would. Because, I mean, these are the survivors. Their timelines could change the PCA timeline if we could just get the truth, you know? And so this is where I'm at. What do you think about this one?
Have picked up on one particular item from the police on the night that the 4 college kids were murdered. In fact, the incident in question happened at almost exactly the same time as the killings. I'm going to read to you what the police blotter actually says. Quote, there was an alcohol offense reported at 3:01 a.m. on November 13th, and that's the last night the kids were alive. The location, a field on Taylor Avenue. You can see it there. Band. It's called Band Field. So that is not far from the Sigma Chi frat house where 2 of the victims, Xana Kernodle and Ethan Chapin, spent a lot of their...
Now, to me, calling an officer or two to the Banfield, I mean, right at the moment that these murders are taking place, to me, it's either to cause a distraction, okay, to have these officers tied up, away, you know, or it could be somebody dry snitching. They knew exactly what was going to happen at 3 o'clock, and they didn't have the guts or the tenacity to call the police and just say, hey, you know, a murder is about to go down. But they're kind of telling on everybody by bringing the police close to the area, and hey, maybe the police, you know, can take it from there. And if not, you know, that's their tough luck. Okay? There could be a few reasons why somebody would call the police that close to 1122 King Road at a time when we're hearing screams. Okay, remember at this time we have people walking between the field and the house, okay, on camera. This is evidence that we can see, okay? We don't have to depend on speculation. This is in this officer's body cam footage with a timestamp on it, okay? So we know that these people were walking in between the dwelling places at around 3 a.m. Okay, it's like they were spectators. They knew something was going to jump off. They didn't believe they were actually going to go through with it. You know, this is young people. You know, that's how they think. Okay, no, I'm not having anything to do with a murder or a double murder or however many you plan on killing. But I'll be a spectator. I'll watch and see if you're actually going to do it. Okay, I mean, this is plausible. Okay, so We've got screams. We've got people walking in the body cam footage at the time. I mean, we have so much evidence for between 250 and 315. We have so much evidence that it happened at that time, and that the young people around the campus and that lived in that neighborhood, they knew it was going to happen. Okay, everything points to those speculations. All right. The problem with all of this is that according to their own records in the PCA, the prosecution is saying Brian Kohberger was still in Pullman at 2:53.